Have you ever wondered if the Bible is just a collection of inspiring myths, or if it's actually rooted in real, verifiable history? The evidence is something we can all examine for ourselves, and the answer might be closer than you think. So that's the core question we're exploring. Is the Bible a work of mythology, or is it a reliable historical document? Welcome to our channel, Bible Explained Simply. In this explainer, we're going to investigate the Bible's reliability through 4 distinct areas. First, we need to define what we even mean by historical truth when we talk about ancient texts. Then we'll look at the physical evidence from archaeology, the manuscripts themselves, and finally, the Bible's own internal consistency. So, before we can examine any evidence, we really have to establish our terms. How do historians actually test an ancient document to see if it's reliable? You see, historical reliability isn't about proving every single detail beyond all doubt. For any ancient document, it comes down to a few key things. It's the degree to which a text can be verified by external facts, things like archaeology. It's also about its internal consistency and how well the text has been preserved over time. These are the neutral academic standards we'll be applying. So let's start with our first line of evidence. Archaeology. This is where we see if the physical world lines up with the historical accounts we read about in the biblical texts. And here are a couple of really fascinating examples. For a very long time, many scholars questioned whether King David was even a real historical figure. But then, archaeologists unearthed the Tel Dan inscription. It's a stone monument from the 9th century BC, and it specifically mentions the House of David. In the same way, the Pilate stone, found back in 1961, is a physical carving that confirms Pontius Pilate was the governor of Judea exactly as the Gospels describe. So you might ask, why does a single stone actually matter? Well, it's because it anchors the biblical narrative in tangible history. These artifacts don't prove faith, of course, but they do confirm that the people, the places, and the political structures it talks about were very real. It's an external check on its historical framework. Now let's shift our focus to the manuscript evidence. How can we possibly know that the Bible we read today is what was originally written thousands of years ago? This number is a critical piece of the puzzle. It represents the number of surviving Greek manuscripts of just the New Testament, over 5,800 of them. Now, to really grasp the significance of over 5,800 manuscripts, we need a little context. Let's compare that number to other famous works from antiquity. We only have about 10 surviving manuscripts of Caesar's Gallic Wars, and for Aristotle's Poetics, it's around 5. The sheer volume of New Testament manuscripts is simply in a class of its own. So why does all that quantity matter? Well, it's because the more copies we have, the more we can cross-reference them to find and correct any scribal errors that may have crept in over time. Textual experts can compare all these documents, note any variations, and reconstruct the original wording with an incredibly high degree of confidence. The message has been preserved. All right, so for our final category of evidence, let's look at the Bible's internal consistency. We've seen that the text is well preserved, so now we can look at the message inside the book itself. Just consider this for a moment. The Bible was written over a span of 1,500 years. It was written by more than 40 authors from all different walks of life, kings, fishermen, prophets, on 3 different continents. And yet, from the very beginning in Genesis to the end in Revelation, it tells one unified story. The theme of a promised savior, for instance, is introduced in the earliest books and developed consistently across centuries, long before the New Testament claims its fulfillment. That kind of coherence it's remarkable. So now let's just step back for a moment and weigh the evidence that we've looked at in this brief explainer. When we put the Bible to the test using standard methods of historical reliability, we find some compelling evidence. We see a historical framework that's been repeatedly confirmed by archaeology. We have an unmatched quantity of ancient manuscripts, which gives us great confidence in its preservation. And we find a single consistent narrative written over 1,500 years. And this brings us to a final, thought-provoking question. If the Bible is supported by this much historical and textual evidence, what if it's not just a reliable document about the past, but a story that is true, and true for you? If you found this explanation valuable, we hope you'll consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. And if you know someone who's asking these same questions, we'd invite you to share this with them. Thank you for watching Bible Explained Simply.